I kind of complained that the opening two-parter was...
Could we pause for a second here?
Sure.
I need to kill a bug.
Oh, no.
I know. Okay, I'm back. Well, that was interesting.
Did you level up?
You know what? I think I did. I got a few experience points there.
Good.
Yeah, no, I just killed a wasp.
I thought they were gone.
I thought they were gone too, so I'm actually a little disappointed.
Oh.
I'm also really confused. They really should all be dead. That's the thing.
That's awful cruel of you.
What? That I think they should all be dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, when it comes right down to it, I mean, if it's me or them, I'd really rather it be them.
But the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But what can I say? I'm kind of selfish that way.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm Tom Dickinson.
And I'm Louis Midas.
And this is the Cloister Room,
a podcast about Doctor Who and other things.
So, actually, before we even talk about the episode, did you hear about the news? The big news?
Oh, yeah. No, I totally have, yeah.
It was big news. Like,
right.
Everyone on Twitter was kind of freaking out about it because the BBC was teasing on the Doctor Who Twitter, like, we got big news coming. And everyone was like, oh, it's missing episodes. Oh, it's this, it's that. But there is a new spin-off.
That's right, yeah.
Called Class.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think about it.
No, me neither. Especially because I don't know, because they said it's not going to feature Clara at all.
Right. So the concept of it is that it's set at Coal Hill School, which,
right.
I mean, that's like a notable Doctor Who location, so fair enough. But when I first heard it, I kind of assumed, oh, Clara's getting her own spin-off.
Right.
But she's not. She's not going to be in it.
Right. Yeah. So maybe it's that troublemaking student. Maybe she's
Courtney. Could be.
Courtney. Yeah. That's it. I don't know if she was well received at all. I think probably I don't remember.
I don't know. I really liked her though.
Yeah, I think she could handle a spin-off. Well, that's the thing, I mean, she's been to the future and seen some things, so conceivably, that's I think that sets you up for your own spin-off.
Well, yeah, and we know she'll eventually become the president.
That's right. So she's got to. We got to see that journey, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will probably watch it, but
yeah. Now, have they said that it's going to be more like kid oriented, or is it going to be like?
Well, they called it like YA, so young adult, but I don't think it's going to be like Sarah Jane Adventures, where it's like a kids show. I think it's probably going to be kind of more along the lines of Doctor Who, but with characters who happen to be kids or teenagers or whatever.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I tried watching the Sarah Jane Adventures, and I just wasn't really that interested in. Maybe it was because it was more aimed at children, and I wasn't feeling it. Maybe, I don't know.
I rather like the Sarah Jane Adventures. I never actually watched the last few stories, but I should get around to that eventually because what I did see of it, I really did quite like.
In fairness, I didn't give it much of a chance, but the chance that I gave it didn't really like grab me, so I just never watched the rest of it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's interesting. The author of it is Patrick Ness, who's like a young adult author. He wrote The Knife of Never Letting Go, which is a book that I read.
Okay.
He also wrote a bunch of other books that I didn't read.
Wow.
And he's never written for TV before, but
oh wow,
they're letting him write every episode of this new spinoff. So
oh wow, is this supposed to just be? I mean, I guess the success will really determine it. But like, is this supposed to be just like a one-off thing, like a one season series or whatever?
Yeah, I imagine it's probably just gonna be determined by whether people watch it or not.
Yeah, I think that's probably how things generally work. Although, I mean, it's just like for the UK, it seems like they don't do. I don't know. They don't do like the sort of same thing we do in America, where we just keep churning things out if it's successful.
Yeah, I think in America there's more of an assumption that when you set out to make a show, you're setting out to make a 8-season long show.
Right.
The notion that you would deliberately make a show that would only run for fewer than 20 episodes, and that would be all you'd ever want from it. That's less of a thing in America.
Right.
Although that may be changing, I don't know.
Wait, which is changing? That the UK now wants to do 8-season shows, or that the US is more receptive to 1-season shows?
Well, it might be that the U.S. is more receptive, not just to 1-season shows, but maybe short-run shows with shorter seasons as well. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Also, an interesting thing about this is that this is a spin-off for BBC Three, which is a television channel that has already announced that it is going to be ceasing its existence as a television channel and becoming online only.
Oh, okay.
So this is a series of webisodes, essentially.
Mobisodes?
It's a mobisode. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like an online original, kind of like,
right.
We have tons of those here with the Netflix and the Hulus and the Amazons.
Yeah, those Amazons. Yeah. So that's not unheard of now. I mean, it would have been unheard of. Well, I mean, it would have been unheard of in the 70s because the internet didn't exist. But
right.
It would have been unheard of until very recently. But yeah, now that's kind of like a common thing. Or more common. Yeah,
and it's even it's not even the kind of thing that people really dismiss anymore, because people may have been dismissive of this idea if it had happened, 3 years ago. But now we've got Orange is the New Black and House of Cards and Transparent and various other online-only shows that are legitimate, critical and commercial successes. So, so, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but I guess I'll be looking forward to hearing more about it.
Yeah. So okay. So if it's gonna wait, no, hang on. So the channel has announced it's going to be online only. Does that mean that that'll go into effect before this airs?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does the U.S. access it?
Well, I imagine it'll probably air on BBC America.
Oh yeah. They do have that channel.
Probably. Yeah,
which I assume means that it'll also be available for purchase through the iTunes or the Amazon or the Xbox Video.
right, all those.
Yeah, huh? Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting because the whole notion of same day airing is something that's very particular to Doctor Who right now.
Right.
So I wonder whether they will do the same for Class.
Yeah, like every other show that I've heard of, if there's always a delay. You've got your Downton Abbey and your Broadchurch or whatever, all those things. Those all come to the UK and then they stay there for a while.
Even Sherlock, which is a huge phenomenon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's right. I forget that Doctor Who is the exception in that. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's been that way for so long.
Yeah.
I think Series 5 was a couple weeks delay.
Oh yeah,
which at the time was incredible because it had been months before, and now
right.
And then I think Series 6 was the first one where it was same day or next day. I don't remember.
That's right. Yeah, it was a big thing. Yeah, wow, we're spoiled now. We're really, really spoiled.
We really are. I mean, not that it was impossible to watch the episodes.
Well, no, right, obviously.
Yeah, but
the idea that they care about us as a demographic enough that they're willing to pull whatever strings are necessary to have it be a legitimate thing that you don't have to engage in any sort of illicit activities in order to obtain. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether that applies to any Doctor Who spin-offs.
Yeah. Yep. Right, because there have not been really any spin-off. Well, no legitimate spin-offs that would have to be sold to an American broadcaster to then view or whatever.
Right. The last spin-off was the American co-production of Torchwood.
Right. And didn't we in some cases get the episodes before the UK did?
I think we did in all cases. I think it was always we had it a few days before.
Huh. Yeah. So yeah, that was Yeah, so that was even weirder. But yeah, so that's kind of the exception, I guess.
I think we had the American TV movie before the UK did too.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how much earlier it was, but it was, more than a couple days, I think.
Wow. Okay, well, so that's interesting, especially because like the TV movie wasn't that well received, nor was Miracle Day really, in the scheme of things. So maybe when the U.S. gets something first, we ruin it.
Just by the act of watching it.
Yeah. It just taints it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. How about that? So I guess the important thing is that they never do that to the new series because that'll kill it.
Right.
So we need to always make sure that the UK is putting in slightly more money so that they get it first.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming that's how it works, is whichever country puts in the most money is the one that gets to watch it first.
Well, I don't know, because now I'm fact-checking what I said about the 1996 TV movie, and it aired here on May 14th. It aired May 27th in the UK, but Canada got it before even we did.
What?
And it was filmed in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Well, I believe.
So,
like most American sci-fi productions, it was filmed in Vancouver.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that was the case of Fringe, wasn't it? Didn't they do most of their filming there?
Yeah, well, I think they moved there after season 1.
Oh,
I think they were filming in New York for the first season.
Oh, wow, that's expensive. Or yeah. I imagine it is. Maybe
probably.
It's not. But yeah. Okay, so, well, and where it was filmed, maybe there's some special rights there. Where Miracle Day was filmed in the U.S., wasn't it? Or was it not?
I honestly don't know. I think partially it was filmed in Wales. Yeah, I think the American portions of it were probably filmed in L.A.
Interesting.
So, yeah, class. Watch this space, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what the Doctor Who production team is going to be working on next year when there isn't any full series of Doctor Who.
Is that confirmed or is that a rumor?
That's a rumor, and I'm guessing it's true now because of class.
Yeah, it could be. So does that mean that Series 10 will be shorter, or that there just won't be a Series 10?
I guess it would probably mean like gap year specials, like in 2009.
Yeah, well, that's a little. I guess that's to be expected, but it's a little disappointing. I want a full series of well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want a full series of Doctor Who.
Really?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe because a break every now and then is good, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, no. I think 2009 was kind of torture. So
it was. Anyhow, want to talk about Under the Lake?
Sure.
Under the Lake.
Under the Lake.
Did you enjoy Under the Lake?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
It was basically more like what I was expecting. I felt like the opening two-parter, I kind of complained that it was a little too Series 7.
Yeah.
But this felt Series 8.
It really did.
Right here in Series 9.
How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really, I did enjoy it. I thought that it was just generally a very well-done Base Under Siege story.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, it was, like, amazing. I mean, like, I knew this was going to be a Base Under Siege story, and so, like, I was kind of, like, prepped for that, I guess. But, it was just so well done. Like, I not that I, like, forgot it was a Base Under Siege, but, like, I don't know. Because generally, like, I feel like you've seen one Base Under Siege, you've seen them all.
Yeah, that's true to an extent, yeah.
But this one was just so good. It was just so well done.
It ticked all the boxes, it did them really, really well.
It did, you're right.
Like, I thought the cast of characters was very interesting. Mm-hmm. The setting and the atmosphere of it was very good. Mm-hmm. I thought, like, the whole, the enemy gets in and uses the setting against us kind of thing was pretty good, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was just tense in all the right spots, and it didn't feel like a big, rushy, fast-paced thing, so much as it just felt like sometimes it was quite slow and eerie, so... Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, like, this really, like, they take the time to, like, kind of go through, like, everything, and you're kind of, like, exploring all these different aspects of things. We learn, like, they can, they can't go through Faraday cages. They seem to be affected by, like, electromagnetic fields or whatever, and they're kind of, like, exploring all this stuff kind of really slowly, and, it's all kind of, like, unfolding, and it's just like, it's so good. Yeah, no, it's really good, and I like the whole. I really like the sort of like creepy premise that like, oh, they found something and they brought it on board, and now everything's going to hell, and we're kind of learning about this weird thing they brought on board, and it's just like, I love it.
Then there was some really quality corridor running.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and you need that, I think.
Yeah, Like there was a really great sequence where there was like a corridor relay race where it's like, all right, now it's your turn to run through some corridors. Now it's your turn to run through some corridors.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this was really, really good. This was just, so good. And I mean, and we've only seen the first part.
Yeah, I really do like this whole like two-parter thing.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice and relaxing to just be able to like spread out and like dig in and like really. Like you just explore this sort of like premise or whatever, and we're not rushed for time. Like I mean, I kind of I used to hate two-parters because I always hated waiting to find out what happens, but now I kind of like it. Now I kind of like maybe I've just because I've gotten older and I'm more patient now, or at least I think I'm more. Maybe I'm not, but I don't mind waiting, and like I kind of prefer to just. If it makes it a better story, I kind of prefer it, and so I like that.
Yeah, and I really like the notion that you can have like an episode that kind of feels like it has a distinct sort of tone and a beginning, middle, and an end, and then the next episode can have its own distinct tone and beginning, middle, and an end, but completely carry on like the narrative concerns of the previous one. Because it looks like next week's, I mean, it's gonna involve the Doctor and a couple of the base people. Back in time, and parallel stories of that versus what's going on in the future base. So I think that's going to be, it's going to be a different feel probably from this week, which is interesting.
But yeah. So like, I'm just I can't wait, and I'm really interested to see I'm really interested to find out like what's going on because there's so many on top of all like the cool, thematic stuff or whatever going on. It's really gonna be interesting to like I want to know I want to have all these like mysteries resolved. Like I want to know all like the backstory of this town, like why did it flood, and like all this kind of like really interesting stuff. And I mean, obviously, like I want to know about this mysterious spaceship and whatever. But like, I'm
what's
just
in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? Yeah, because they said it should be the pilot, but maybe it's not. Probably isn't.
Yeah, and I was actually pretty sure when I was watching it that was going to be the cliffhanger, that like the box was going to the box was going to open and it was going to be like Clara or something or the Doctor or something completely crazy like that. But that wasn't the cliffhanger. They just didn't even bring it up again. So
no, yeah. So that could be a thing. Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting to have a deaf character.
Yeah. That's as of right now, that has not yet, or well, like I mean, in terms of like this episode, it hasn't yet like caused problems. Although I feel like I mean, it's kind of one of those things where like if it exists in the narrative, then you kind of just get the sense that this is gonna come up and be a thing later on. I mean, like she actually has like helped advance the plot.
Because she can read lips.
Right, exactly. So, maybe, I mean, like, so, like, if they don't go in the direction of, like, oh, this is gonna be a narrative, like, concern later or whatever, like, she's certainly already, like, contributed in a real way, so, like, but it is interesting. Like, I do like seeing that. Like, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I do hope they kind of stay away from the whole, like, oh, she, dies because she can't hear something that she needs to hear.
That would kind of suck.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, that's too obvious, and it's too, like... I mean, I think it's like neat. I'm sure there are deaf people who are watching this episode who think it's neat to have, like, a deaf character whose deafness is, like, an asset rather than a problem, so...
Yeah, so that is cool. Yeah. But it would also be totally fine if it was just, like, she was just a normal character who doesn't, like... I mean, I guess it's better to contribute, but like if it were just shown that she was capable of doing her job and there was no like detriment, that'd be fine too. Like she didn't even need to be like helpful. I mean, not that. Well, I mean, obviously, like you'd expect all characters to be helpful in some regards. So I guess, but like she didn't have to like do something specifically related to her deafness. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I think
she could have just been really good at computers or something. Yeah, whatever. But no, it is cool to see.
Yeah, I thought that was a good aspect of the story. So
yeah, and it helps make it like a little bit more unique in terms of storytelling because I don't Has there ever been a Base Under Siege episode where there's been a deaf character?
I think this is the first deaf character in Doctor Who.
Is it really in all of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I think there was a deaf actor who was a partially deaf actor who was playing a hearing character in, I think, Destiny of the Daleks.
Huh, interesting.
But I believe this is the first deaf character, certainly the first deaf character played by a deaf actor.
Oh, is she actually deaf?
Yeah, she was the first deaf person ever to be accepted at RADA, which is the big acting school.
Oh, wow.
That a lot of these people go to. So, yeah, so she is a deaf actress playing a deaf character. So
yeah, well, and that was one of the things I was wondering about was like, oh, is this, are they, I mean, I'm assuming that they are actually signing. So she would already know how, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I assume that the guy who's signing for her also knows how.
Right. You'd think. But yeah, well, that's super cool.
I don't know if British signing is different from American signing.
Ooh, do they sign the R's, or do they kind of like just, are they kind of soft?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the sign language that's used here is always called American Sign Language.
Oh, wow, yeah, right, huh.
So I imagine there may be an entirely different sign language that's used in other parts of the world.
It would make sense, you know. I don't know how. Sign language is such a fascinating concept to me because it's like it's whole words, right? Like it's not like you're signing each letter because that would take forever.
Yeah, I think it's whole words, but there's also, you can do each letter for certain things. I don't know.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, so like the concept of sign language is so fascinating to me because I imagine it's at least partially like cultural in that like they had to come up with these signs to represent concepts, and so like when you have like metaphorical concepts like or just like obviously like if you are signing like an action like fly or something, I'm sure you could like flap your arms and that would be pretty much 1-to-1 with like, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't think that the American sign or any sign for fly is flapping your arms, but it could be.
Yeah, it could very well be.
But I mean, like when you're talking about more like abstract concepts like love, I mean, you could like do some kind of sign involving your heart, and
or
that would,
mercy.
Oh yeah, mercy. There you go. Yeah. And that would work. But that presumes we have some kind of cultural symbolism involving your heart, and love, which may not be the case everywhere. I don't know.
Right.
So those are, I don't know. So the concept of sign language to me is kind of like, that's fascinating.
It is, and it's just interesting to see it in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that the Doctor can't do it.
Right, he deleted it for semaphores.
Yeah.
I have to wonder. I mean, it's the Doctor, so I'm sure he didn't do it to be practical. But that's seems to me that semaphores would get less use, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
semaphores are used in the Navy, right? Or they had been.
I think so. Yeah.
And so it's a naval base, right? So, or is it? I actually don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, when I say the Navy, does that specifically just mean the American Navy, or is that speaking to any Navy? Like, I can just say the Navy generally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so
the sky, or the ground, the Navy. It's
the
whatever
turquoise.
Navy happens to be local.
Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. Good. Yeah, so, I think as sailors, they should know how to do semaphores, all of them. So in this particular instance, it would have been very useful had they had a set of flags to communicate with.
But they did not.
Nope, no flags. So yes, in this case, it would have been wiser to delete something a little bit less useful for semaphores. Or just maybe don't learn semaphores, Doctor. Maybe don't do that.
You could delete Welsh.
He could delete Welsh, apparently, because if you just speak... I guess the rule must be if you speak the native language, if you speak the native language of a person that you don't understand, then it comes out as Welsh.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do a little bit of, it would be kind of a hack, but you could speak Welsh.
Sure.
Or is it, I don't know. I don't know what the rules were that were established in Fires of Pompeii, really.
I don't know if it was rules so much as just screwing with the audience.
Do you think it was the TARDIS screwing with the companions?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it had to be. Yeah. That's weird. Well, and this is actually interesting because I remember seeing this question, and I'd actually thought about this, is like, would the TARDIS translate sign language? And I guess it doesn't.
No, maybe it's only speech.
I guess it is.
Speech and text.
Right, speech and text. Yeah, that's so fascinating. You know, you'd think, I don't know, you'd think that any language. Well, the thing is, like, but because there's a lot of components of language that are also unspoken. You know, you've got body language and like kind of like tone. So like, if you're being sarcastic in Venusian or whatever, like, does it I mean, like, theoretically, it translates through as sarcastic English. But how does the TARDIS know to do that? And like, where do we draw the line? Like,
all good questions.
Yeah, I just. But and this also raises the question of like, how does the TARDIS? Like, I mean, I've always assumed that like when the TARDIS translates, what it's doing is like we see the actors speaking in English, but I'm assuming that like everyone involved is actually speaking in their native tongue, and like we're just being like the lips sync up is what I'm saying. Is like they look like they're mouthing English words, and I assume that is all a psychic kind of like projection or whatever, where like in actual fact they are speaking their native language and making native language mouth shapes, but there's
something I've kind of noticed over time.
Okay,
and it's that you care more about this topic than anyone I've ever spoken to about Doctor Who.
I should really just give up on it.
No, you do. Like, I don't think I've ever known anyone who has said as much about, or has wondered as much, or fretted as much about the details of the way TARDIS translation works as you.
I just like it. I just really, really like it.
I know you do. I know. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm just pointing it out.
I'm sorry. If this is not interesting, we can change topics.
Hey, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you gotta find something to be really into, and if that's your thing, then I say go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I have your support.
Yeah. Some people are really into I don't know, the carpentry in Doctor Who.
Are they really?
Well, that's the Wife in Space blog where Neil Perryman shows his non-fan wife all of Doctor Who, which is now over because she's seen it all. But she often remarked about carpentry because that was her thing.
Interesting. So, like the construction of sets?
Yes, and like furniture on sets as well. Like, oh, it's a very nice table and things like that.
That's interesting because I've never paid attention to that at all.
Well, there you go. I mean, some people have never paid attention to how the TARDIS translation circuit worked.
No, I'm sure that's true.
And until 2005, there was no in-narrative answer in any televised Doctor Who.
Yeah. Beyond the vague, like, oh, it's a gift of the TARDIS I'm sharing with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. That's interesting. Well, now I'm thinking about carpentry. Was it? I don't know if there was any good carpentry in this episode.
Well, no, because everything was very like polished, like steel and Apple Store kind of like brushed aluminum or whatever.
Yeah. I imagine you get more of that in the historical episodes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks like there might be some next week.
Right. Yeah, because we got to go back to before the town was flooded.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even if like the town is flooded in the future, like the future from our perspective, it still might have like heirloom furniture.
Oh
that could be a thing.
That stuff lasts for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They don't make it like that anymore.
No,
really
not.
In the future.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There might be like a renaissance.
Could be.
I don't know.
There was one aspect of this episode that I wasn't crazy about.
Oh yeah.
The whole notion of like, oh, the Doctor is inevitably going to die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little tired of that.
I'm tired of that too, and I feel like this is because like we know he's not going to die, right?
I assume. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if that confession dial will be showing up again.
Well, that's the thing, like, okay, well, if it actually does end with him dying, then hey, maybe we'll finally get not finally. I'm saying this like it's been like a super long time, but like, yeah, we'll get some answers about that confession dial.
Who has that now, by the way?
The confession dial? I assumed Missy. Oh no, wait, hang on, no, because we see the Doctor
had it.
Davros had it, and then I think right before Scarrow goes to shit again, the Doctor grabs it.
Oh, okay.
So I think he has it now.
So it could be in the TARDIS.
It could be in the TARDIS. It could be. Well, I don't know what'll happen to the TARDIS after the Doctor dies. Presumably, it'll like grow to gigantic size and become his tomb.
Yeah, size leak.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming that he's not actually going to die. I
think it's a pretty good assumption.
I'm pretty sure that Doctor Who will not end with Series 9. I mean, I think, this may turn out to be a situation where, like, nobody's actually dead, because that's happened in the past.
Well, that guy sure did seem to be drowning.
He did. Well, but here's the thing. We have no idea what this actually, like, what, like, we've never seen ghosts before. So, like, how can we make a judgment call about what happens when you have, like, a sort of see-through version of yourself without eye sockets, just kind of muttering the same 4 phrases or same 4 words over and over again. You know, what is that? Maybe that is in fact your soul. Maybe
Could be.
Maybe you can just insert that back into your body and be fine.
What about your lungs?
I mean, I'm assuming that your lungs have a bit of soul too. Are you saying we insert the soul directly into the lungs?
No, what I'm saying is, like, if you get the soul back in the body, I mean, your lungs are still all screwed up because you breathed in all the water.
Maybe death only occurs because your soul falls out. maybe once your soul gets back in, it's like regeneration. It's just all your cells just magically start working again.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to all this being fully explained next week.
Yeah, I think we gotta wait and see for next week to see the soul magic in action. I don't know. It's the Doctor, so he's probably fine. I guess it's fine that the Doctor is going, because the Doctor doesn't usually do this where, like, he lands somewhere and he's like, oh wait, let's go back even further. Because usually you can't do that, I think, because you're part of events. But I guess this is a different set of events that they can also be a part of.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine. So, but
yeah, maybe like he couldn't go back like a couple of hours, but
right,
he'd go back to the flood.
Yeah. It's like on top of just like this is a very good story and it's very well told. It's also a fascinating concept to arrive after a disaster has occurred and like exhaust all your options on solving the situation and just be like, you know what, let's just go back to before the disaster occurred. And work from there.
Well, that's the time when you can have the most impact.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's not like he's going to try and stop the disaster from happening. Because I don't think that's allowed.
Yeah, it could be like a Pompeii situation.
Yeah. So I guess it's mostly just like a kind of like a, because the Doctor just seems to want more information. So he's just kind of like, it's just like a fact finding kind of
research.
Exactly. You know, you gotta do a little bit of research, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
yeah, my assumption is going to be that the way the Ghost is produced, there's going to be some way to do it without dying, whereas it just happens that for the ones we've seen so far, dying was part of the production of the Ghost, but it doesn't have to be. That's my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think, yeah, because, you know, I presumably, right, because here's the thing, we haven't seen, like, the, I don't know what species, they keep referring to him as the mole guy, but he's from the planet Tivoli?
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. It's the same thing from the God Complex.
Right. I don't know what that species is called. Is it, like, Tivolian or something?
Something like that.
Tivolite? I don't know. Anyway, we haven't seen his body.
Right.
So we don't know if he's dead or maybe he's in the stasis chamber thingy.
Yeah, he could very well be.
Yeah, or who knows? But yeah, so like it's possible he's not dead.
I've got a theory about him.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah. So according to the credits, his name is Prentice. Could he be a magician? Could it be that the magician's apprentice?
I got you. It's like. Yeah.
The magician is apprentice. The apprentice is the magician, and the magician is apprentice.
Yeah.
This could be the answer to the questions posed by the opening two-parter.
You know, that could very if that is in fact true, then I take it all back about these titles because they're so okay. Well, hang on now, because now, so does that mean that Under the Lake is a hint about what's going to happen in episode 5?
Well, it could be. Yeah. I mean, because in this episode, they're not under the lake. They're inside the lake. They're in the lake.
They are. They're in it.
They're not under it.
They're just kind of like, yeah, they're a part of the lake.
They're immersed in it.
Yeah. I mean, technically, the spaceship was, I think they said it was buried, so that would have been under the lake.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But it's not under the lake now. that already happened. Like
Yeah.
it was under the lake, and then it was exhumed, and then the episode started.
Well, exactly.
So it can't be. Yeah. So that title is barely relevant as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be. Could very well be.
I was actually briefly kind of wondering whether the stasis chamber might have had Missy inside of it.
Oh, could be.
Because I was thinking, like, what if they're going to do, like, a classic Season 8 kind of thing where it's just the master in every story?
Hey, I think we're about due for one of those. Oh, man, that would be awesome.
I'd love it, yeah. I think some people would really hate it, but I love it.
Yeah, I suspect a lot of people would really hate it. Anyway, that's the thing is, like, if Missy shows up in some capacity in this two-parter, then, I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee she's in everyone, right? I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, that could be just what they want you to think.
That's true. It could be a double bluff, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what a double bluff is?
That's some kind of bluff.
Maybe a half bluff?
I think it's 2 half bluffs with a quarter twist.
And, like, some lemon zest?
Yes.
All right, there we go. Yeah, it could very well be Missy. Yeah, I mean, like, that's going to be the thing is, like, that's one of the... That's got to be important somehow is who's inside that stasis pod, or what is inside that stasis pod.
Could
thingy.
Be Candy.
Candy?
Yeah, could be Candy.
You think like Dr. Candy from whatever he was from?
No, could be Candy.
Physical candy. You're talking like a piñata.
Yeah. Could be treats. Well, you don't know that it's not.
I am all for a candy theory. A candy theory of stasis pods. And I mean, it's possible. You think maybe that the pilot of this ship was like some kind of candy smuggler?
Well, yeah. Of course.
So this shipping candy to a planet where candy is outlawed, and
what a horrible place.
I know. Well, and so like he's got to like import. Like he like like he's official, like his official cover story is that he's just like transporting, I don't know, people, which is somehow not banned.
Right. Yeah, slave trade is totally legal. Candy trade is not.
Yeah. So all right, I could see that.
All right, yeah, that's what I'm predicting.
So we got
a whole lot of candy in there, an assortment of treats.
So yeah, we got a wide range of theories here to work from. I liked the scene where the Doctor apparently has a bunch of cue cards to help him express various sentiments.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Who knows how well it actually fits in with the Doctor's character, because he's generally in the past he's shown to be pretty empathetic.
Yeah, well, this one is has a little difficulty expressing it.
Yeah. You just sometimes you need a little push to help articulate these things.
Did you see the one with the Sarah Jane reference on it?
Yeah. It was my fault. I should have known you didn't live in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Which is a reference to School Reunion, the first episode written by Toby Woodhouse.
Oh, hey, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he wrote this one and the next one.
Oh, right, yeah, huh. Yeah, that's a pretty good bit of continuity there. Good job, Toby Woodhouse.
Yeah.
Making callbacks to your own episodes.
Well, yeah, he also wrote The God Complex.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, and A Town Called Mercy.
Which is not referenced.
Which is not referenced yet. But we can hold out hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. If he can somehow incorporate like a gunslinger or a western town, all for it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Why not? Toby Woodhouse has kind of been on my list of people who might be the next showrunner.
Yeah.
If only because he has previous showrunner experience, having created Being Human.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. This is a good episode. So
it is a good episode.
So I guess I'll just be fickle and say this is the one episode that proves he can do it.
There you go.
Not that his previous episodes are bad. I actually liked all of his previous episodes. So
yeah, I think the only one I wasn't wild about, he did Vampires of Venice, right?
Yeah, he did that, which you didn't like, but I liked it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, and I think every writer's gonna have at least one bad episode.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm trying to think of what that would have been in Stephen Moffat's case.
I think there would be some people who would be able to find some examples of episodes they don't like.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's absolutely the case. I'm trying to figure out, like, if I have one.
I'm not crazy about the Wedding River song. I'm not crazy about the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, there are a few out there that I'm not crazy about.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, well, yeah, he's definitely written so many. Oh, well, you know what? I don't like Time of the Doctor at all.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, and I mean, I actually just recently watched that again because I really hate myself. I still don't like it.
Oh.
Even in extreme retrospect, even like distancing myself from the Matt Smith era, I thought like, oh, maybe now's the time. We got a new Doctor. You know, maybe I'll feel a little bit of nostalgia for Matt Smith, but no, not at all. Still don't like it.
Maybe. Well, I often find that these things skip a generation.
Oh, so I need to wait till for the 13th Doctor?
Well, yeah, because I found that I had a lot of difficulty watching David Tennant episodes while Matt Smith was the Doctor. But then once Matt Smith's era ended, I found myself more like comfortable with David Tennant. And now I find it hard to watch Matt Smith episodes.
That could be. That makes a lot of sense, I think. Because you're still kind of like getting over the trauma of saying goodbye to that Doctor. So it's really hard.
That's just me, maybe, though. I don't know if that's true of everyone. But
I can see it, though. But yeah, Yeah, thinking about it, I probably feel that way to some extent. I just never really registered it on a conscious level. But yeah. Well, this is good. I'm getting all these feelings out. But yeah. So, okay, yeah. So I think it's perfectly reasonable to have one bad episode, at least. But yeah, I could...
And as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't had one yet. I mean, because Vampires of Venice is an episode I like.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so, yeah, I could see him, though. I could see him being showrunner. I would be interested to know what he would do with complete control of the show. But, like, yeah, that'd be... I'm all for it.
Or maybe, because I've often thought, they'd have to be someone with previous showrunner experience. But then, all of a sudden, Patrick Ness, who's never written an episode of television before, gets to be head writer and sole writer on his own show. So, I don't know if that's really a rule.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, now, and I'm sure now, this has only stoked the fires of the idea that, like, Neil Gaiman should be the next showrunner. Although I guess that's not as pronounced now because I think Nightmare in Silver was less well received.
Yeah.
So I think people have I think he's been knocked down, at least in some people's minds probably, as like showrunner material.
Yeah. It's also worth pointing out that for Class, Moffat is still executive producer, so...
Oh, wow, okay. Huh.
Yeah. So he's probably, still kind of running the show.
Even looking down from above.
Yeah, exactly. He's not writing all the scripts, although I imagine he may be helping with them.
Well, yeah. So that'd be interesting to get to see if there's any tie-ins with Doctor Who, because I mean certainly in Journey's End, we had that whole big extravaganza with involving Sarah Jane and Torchwood.
Oh yeah, and the Doctor was in 2 different Sarah Jane stories.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, it's entirely possible that characters who become significant in Class could pop up in Doctor Who. You never know. But yeah, so yeah, it's I don't know. This is all interesting. I don't know. It's so I don't know. This is exciting. But yeah, huh. But yeah, I don't know. I could see Toby Woodhouse taking over. That'd be fun.
Yeah, if he did, I'd probably want to go back and watch more of Being Human because
I've never watched it at all.
I watched 1 episode, and it was pretty good, but I kind of never watched more.
So it's about being human? No, it's about it's like werewolves and stuff, right?
It's about a werewolf, a ghost, and a vampire who are flatmates.
That does sound like fun. That sounds like that would be a rich vein for comedy and drama and
romance.
Romance, yeah.
Violence.
Yeah, ticks all the boxes. Yeah, that sounds like it's got potential. I loved this episode for the most part, but I did have some minor scientific grievances.
Ooh,
I know.
Science.
I know, science. It always comes back to science. Actually no, I only had one scientific grievance. Which was that when the Doctor locked himself in the Faraday cage with the ghosts, he shouldn't have been able to communicate on the radio.
No, he shouldn't have. That's the entire point.
So unless the radios were somehow operating on something other than radio waves?
Well, it was communication via the sonic sunglasses.
Oh, is he using the sonic sunglasses to talk too?
I assume he was, yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, and sound waves can go through a Faraday cage, no problem.
Yeah, so that might be why.
All right, I guess we can give it a pass. I also noticed like a minor like production error, which I never notice, which is that like once the Doctor and Clara have met the crew and they're exploring the spaceship, the Doctor opens up that panel in the floor, and then he's looking in it, and then he's talking about it. He's talking about the stuff that's missing or whatever, and you see another shot of him walking on the closed panel again. And then there's a cutaway, and then it cuts back, and it's open again. Yeah, it was
Weird.
annoying. I never noticed those things, and then I suddenly did, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, huh. Because I kind of noticed that, but I think what I just imagined, for some reason there's two panels.
Oh.
But maybe that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think I could be mistaken. I didn't rewatch this episode that many times. But I think it was like the exact same shot. Like I think they just like duplicated the same. Like there was like one shot of him walking over the panel, or I don't know, taking a few steps in like a sort of circle on the panel. I think they show that, and then they show him reaching down to open it, and then I think they show that exact same shot of him taking a few steps on the panel again. I could be mistaken, but I think maybe it could be that there is a second panel. And then I was supposed to pick up on that, and I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, those were like my two only grievances.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. For your average episode of Doctor Who, that is pretty good.